My name is Antonio Ardovini. Born in 1938 in Ceccano. My parents' name was Giovanni and Rose Ardovini. And I grew up in Ceccano to the age 18. And I left Ceccano 1956 and I came to the United States. I got said a story, what I did when I came to this country. I share it with my friends and family.
You were born in Ceccano before the start of the Second World War. What was life in the village like during the war?
The place I grew up, we had 16 acres of land because I grew up on a farm with my uncle and his wife and the kids. The 43, we spent most of the time home. We're not too far, we're about 70 kilometers from Monte Cassino. When they started bombing Monte Cassino, and so we had to leave at the property. I was very, very tough because I was 7 years old. I was with my mother. So the plane that they come, they started bombing the property. One of the biggest steel, it came right through me. They don't catch me from this much. We had underground shelter. Before we moved, I lost my father's sister. We lost another 5 to the neighborhood because the bomb went right in front of the door and the shelter was underground and they killed all the people there, only 5. And my aunt, she was about 43, 44 years old. So when we went back after that, the German came. They stole also three cow, milk cow, they took them. They took all the vegetable we had and handled to the place. So the people, they came just for food. They don't came for money because we had no money to pay them. But in the night they took food, they took beans. And we had to leave the house. And we moved about 4 miles away from the house. My uncle, my aunt, my mother, my father, and my sister, me, another 2, my 2 cousins. We all live in one room of the house. My father and my uncle, they sleep on the bench for 6 months. Every morning, 4 o'clock, they leave the house there, put a little piece of bread or whatever there, and then they walk another 2.5 miles because they're probably about 2.5 miles away there.
Important to remember during the war that Ceccano was fortunate also because there was a soap factory that was in existence. And that soap factory employed a lot of people. The train line ran right through the town, so it was also another important area for the Germans. But on top of that, Ceccano also had Mussolini built an underground munitions factory.
They couldn't find that thing. The Germans could not find. All over, it was like woods. You had to pass on the woods to go inside the factory. But underground, you had 300 people working there. They started bombing Ceccano, railroad, station, everything. They knocked everything down, but they couldn't find that. When the war started slowed down a little bit, we moved back about 2 miles with another family. So we had more room, and they had 2 big kids, 20, 21. They do help our family to work on the farm because they had nothing to eat. It was bombs everywhere, the property. We have to start at 0. Everything. So lucky we had a lot of food, grain, beans, all of that stuff. It was everything on the ground with the big glass barrel. When we went home, we brought back one of the cows. That's the one we have left That cow was give us 24 quart of milk every single day. So we had it for us and for the neighbors. And we never feed the cow because of the neighbor, they would bring the food for them, for the cow. We had plenty food, we had everything. They would call us at the village, the rich people, but we work on the farm. The war was over. When we went back, the war was over. We had to watch it because there were bombs everywhere. The government, they came and they pick up all of the bombs, they don't explode, you know. I remember when Mussolini died, that I remember. I was go to the school and I heard they say, Mussolini dead, Mussolini's dead, Mussolini's dead. It's that I do remember. But my parents, my mother, she had to give it a wedding ring to Mussolini. Everything she has, she had to give it to Mussolini. Because Mussolini needed gold to go through the war. And they say if he don't give it to us, we're not going to have the kids to the school, you know. The propaganda, you know, that time, so nobody was educated to respond to whatever they want to do.
Tony, you left Ceccano when you were 18.
Right.
That must have been a tough decision. What went into your decision to leave Ceccano to come to the U.S., and how did your family feel about your leaving?
Well, when I left Ceccano, my parents had nobody there. Because Josephine, my sister, she was here. I think it was about 11 months before me. So I came here in '56. The United States, they allowed the immigrant from Italy to come here, 60,000 immigrants. My father and I, we left 4 o'clock in the morning. We took the train because in Ceccano, we had the train maybe a native mile away from us. So we went to Naples. I passed the physical test and everything. What was happened? The weather was good. We up in Margellina, up in Naples, started snow. Up there was not snow for 100 years. You know, we had a suit. We had no coat. So we left there with the train. We got to Monte Cassino. The train couldn't go up no more because of so much snow. So we stayed inside the railroad, the station. No heat, nothing. With the jacket, you know, it was cold. At 4 o'clock in the morning, the train came by from Naples through Monte Cassino because I'm in Ceccano, about 500 people. Every morning, 4 o'clock, they had the train to go to Rome for work. And my mother, she waited for us till 4 o'clock in the morning. She had made it ditalini with the beans. And at night, she thought we would go home about 9 o'clock. And we don't eat for most 24 hours. We find that thing was cooked. My mother, she wanted warm up. We eat it the way it was. I was supposed to come here with the Andreadori. The ship would sink. My father and my mother didn't want me to go. My parents are always the one delayed. And the travel agency said, he can't delay it anymore. He's got to go. So I came by myself. My parents, they came 5 years later.
Why did you come and they stayed? Was there a reason?
It was a reason to be their better life. I don't like a farm. I never like a farm. I want to live with Italy because I don't want to be on a farm. If I was set in the United States, I was young.
And the reason that your parents didn't stay for another 5 years, they just weren't ready to come?
No, they stayed there because I came here, and my sister came 6, 7 months before me. They can give up the farm right away, you know.
What was the name of the ship that you were on? Obviously, you were lucky you weren't on the Andrea Doria, but what was the name of the ship that you were on?
Julius Caesar.
What was your journey like when you were on the ship?
Oh,
What was the trip overcoming? What was it like?
Oh, it's a beautiful life. I was in second class, not the third class. I was the only young guy. I was 18 years old. There were 5 or 6 girls there. The parents, they took me to meet the grandparents in Italy. And I was the only guy. We met him, we talked, we went to the movie in the night. It was a nice company. I had $30 in my pocket. I came to this country with $30. You know why? The parents had to pay for everything for me inside the ship. I was the only one, I was the king in the family. I was to share the room with an old man. And this guy said, I wish I come back 18.
When you came here on the Julius Caesar,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
You arrived in September,
Right.
September 5th, 1956.
right.
When you came into New York, what did you see?
I never know this to the Statue of Liberty. Never knew that. Statue of Liberty, I never knew that.
Did you see it when you came in?
I see, the boat they stop over there in the night. And the night in New York City was all light, all different. I never see big city. I don't know who I was. I never asked nobody. I never know where I was. So about 2 weeks later, they took me to New York City, my brother-in-law. And I said to him, what's that statue there? I said, this is Statue of Liberty. It was built by the French. That's when I started to know a little bit about New York. When I came here, I found my sister Josephine and my brother-in-law. And both my brother-in-law's parents, they treated me like I was one of the family, more than a family. When I came here, it was a lot of different. It was different things. The roads were different. But over here, everything was clean. It was different. You could take a shower. We never had a shower inside the house. You had to get the hose, you had to get the pail,
When you first came here, 2 days after you got here, you started your first job, right?
Yeah.
What was that job?
That job was hard. It was hard. They were doing a big driveway to Sands Point. I never used that stuff, heavy stuff. And they gave me the timber, the asphalt. That thing was heavy. My gallons was all over my hands. Angelo, the boss, came. He started cutting my nail. I said, you can do this. This thing is here. They're a little bit longer. No, you got to cut this and that. Did you believe 25 years later, I was in business. I redid that driveway in my own company. 25 years later, same day I worked in that. It was really amazing. And the first pay I got a week later, because they pay every Friday, I have $65. I said to myself, by myself, just thought, I said, my father had to work 1 year for $65. He had to raise a little cow to sell for 1 year. And I had to pay the trip back to my brother-in-law. I had to send some money to my father because they borrowed money. In December, I had everybody paid off. Everybody. My mother, she got sick. When I left, my sister left, I left. She has a nervous breakdown. My father at that time, he paid over $4,000. He had no money to pay that kind of money. So when I find out, I send her the money. So that's why I went back and 3 years later.
When you went back to Italy to visit your family and you met your wife, how did you meet your wife?
Oh, forget about it. Internet. She was walking to the bridge. We had the bridge there. She walked to the bridge because with the river. And I said, I got to talk to this girl. So I jumped over there. She went in. The brothers, I know the brothers and everybody. You knew about it. You find out right away. So these guys that delegates, he started slice salamis, mortadella. And she said, I gotta go home. This guy buys too much stuff here, I gotta go home. And I told my aunt, I said, can you go tell the parents if she wants to go out with me? My aunt, she went. And the parents didn't want to know nothing.
They did not like that you lived that you were in the United States.
Yeah.
That you were living there now.
Yes.
And that's why they didn't want you.
They don't want
to
it
date.
because they think I get married, I live with the wife over there, and forget about it but the brother, one of the big brothers, said, you could do that because of the family, we know the family. I know him, it's not going to be that way. So they will separate. But the grandma, we went back with my old daughter, 2-3 years later, she said, I thought you were the wrong guy, but you're the one we really want. So we got married before the older sister. And then we got married in February, she got married in October. So it was very hard with the family, two weddings at the same time. I don't want to marry an American girl because I like to eat. And we bought a house in Manhasset, still live in Manhasset, Simonelli. And we raised 4 kids there. Antonetta, she's a hard worker lady. Whatever we have, we made it together. She helps us. She had my parents. We want to buy a house next door to send my parents there. Antonetta, she said no. I promised myself I'm going to take care of them. So my wife, she watched both my parents. And they love my wife.
So when you're in America, a lot of Italians, Sundays were always very special to them. They go to church, they come home, you play in the street, and then you go inside and have lunch. Did you experience any of that? Or what were your Sundays like when you weren't working?
Before they had the lunch, it was like a dinner. On a Sunday, 1 o'clock, everybody sits on the table. Everybody goes to the church. Now nobody goes to the church. But years ago, they put a suit and tie. Even us, they made us do exactly the same in the winter time. We had to go to church and we had to dress up. You had to wear a coat and everything. 1 o'clock, the long dinner was fantastic dinners. And grandma dinner, they would call them, My aunt, she was making the meatballs, pork, she made homemade pasta, or the roasted chicken, and coffee and cake, and if each one, they will go with the friends.
All of the Italian traditions in our household remained with us longer than our relatives in Italy continued them, because of the idea that you kept the old traditions alive here. We spoke Italian at home. My sister went to kindergarten not speaking English. My mom and my grandmother made homemade bread once to twice a week. The pasta was made a couple of times a week. The wine in the fall. My grandfather had a wine press in the garage, and my grandparents did live with us, and my mom's youngest brother lived with us. We were 7 to 8 people living in a 3-bedroom home. And I remember we still canned the tomatoes in September. My family got in trouble for setting up bonfires almost in the backyard to boil the tomato jars, that the police came and said, you cannot do that anymore. We had grapevines in the back and a rooster at one point, which the residents of Manhasset did not appreciate, so the rooster did not last long.
Did you ever have any regrets about leaving Italy and coming
No.
here? Why?
No, you know why? Before, when I could see all of my grandkids, all of my kids, makes me happy. We get along good. We got up, open a house. Like some of the family, new family, they don't know each other. Us, we really family, really family. How long is it gonna last? Who knows? The grandkids, all the way they call us all the time. Doesn't matter where they are, they call. And Mike is supposed to go eat gnocchi today, but I don't know if he comes. But the grandkids, the cousin, They get along so good. And I'll be honest with you, my life is right there. Plus, when we got here, I bought a nice house. I sent my kids to the college and then have to pay another college back. I did the best that we could do with the family.
But Dad, what values do you think in your life did you pass on to your children and the rest of your family?
So you gotta be very proud where you have, where you came from. Me, always my family.
Do you think your life would have been the same had you stayed in Italy versus here?
No.
Do you think you made the right choice?
Yes. I know what I have here. Money doesn't count to me. I have family. I'm a family man. I'm a grandchildren's guy. Italianamerican, I'm proud of what we did. I'm proud of my family. And all of my friends. One night we talked, I couldn't sleep. I was about, I would say less than a year. I said to my wife, I said, hell, we did all this here. 2 people. We got sent to the kids in college. We pay for all the weddings. We give them a good education. And we bought a property. And you know what she said to me? Oh, we gotta say thank God.